Okay children, further we are moving with standard 6 maths lesson number 7 fractions. Today we are going to learn about equivalent fractions and simplest form of a fraction. Now equivalent, the word itself defines equal, right? Equivalent means equal. So now how the fractions can be equal? I had written a definition here. Fractions which have the same value even though they may look different. For example, 1 upon 2 and 2 upon 4 are equivalent. How equivalent? See, 1 upon 2 is in the simplest form. Simplest form I will explain you further. But when in 2 upon 4, when I use the table of 2, what will be my answer? 2 ones are 2 and 2 twos are 4. So 1 upon 2, and here also in the simplest form I am getting answer 1 upon 2. So even though they look different but their values are same, that is 1 upon 2, 1 upon 2. That is why they are equivalent, because they both are half. Coming on to further, you can see a diagram I had drawn here. This is a rectangular strip. You can see I had made it two parts, that is half and half. So this is having half on each of the part. Here again a rectangular strip. You can see I had made four parts. So 1 4, 1 4, 1 4 and 1 4. Out of that 2 I had covered. So total are 4 parts. Out of that 2 are covered. So 2 upon 4. 1 plus 1 2, 2 upon 4. The denominator remains same. So 2 upon 4. But when I simplify the fractions, I am going to get the same answer. That is why they are equivalent fractions. Hopefully this is clear to you. That will be more clear when we will see the sounds and examples. Okay, now second important part of equivalent fractions is to find an equivalent fractions of a given fraction. You may multiply both numerator and the denominator of the given fraction by the same number. For example, I have taken here find equivalent fractions of 1 upon 3. 1 upon 3, the equivalent fractions, as I had written here. When we find out the equivalent fractions, compulsorily the numerator and denominator should be of the same number, and the numerator and denominator should be multiplied with the same number. Always when we solve the equivalent fractions, we skip 1 upon 1, because when we take 1 upon 1, it will keep the answer same, that is not a valid part. So okay, as I said about equivalent fractions, we always begin with the first number, that is 2 upon 2. This is what I had written. The same I had made it practically for you to understand it well. Now 1 upon 1 we never take to find out equivalent fractions. We will always start with 2 upon 2. So I multiply numerator with numerator, that is 2 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 2, 3 into 2, 6. The next equivalent fraction is 1 upon 3 is the question which will remain same. Only the numbers in the numerator and denominator will remain same. 3 upon 3. So 3 and denominator 9. 1 upon 3, the next equivalent number is 4 upon 4. Numerator and denominator should compulsory share a same number. So 4 upon 12. This is what equivalent fractions is. Okay, this is what we had talked about the multiplication. The same formula, the same method can be based to find out the equivalent fractions with the division also. So to find out an equivalent fraction, we may divide both the numerator and the denominator by the same number. You can see here 4 upon 6 is equal to 2 upon 3. Now how this 2 upon 3 will come when I divide 4 upon 6 with a common table of 2. In the table of 2, 6 and 4 both come, but in the table of 3 only 6 comes. So I cannot use a table of 3. So I will use a common table of 2 in the numerator as well as denominator to find out my answer 2 upon 3. So when I divide 4 upon 6 by same number 2 upon 2, that is in the numerator and denominator, my answer will come to 2 upon 3. How? 4 twos are 4, that is 4 divided by 2, answer is 2, and 6 divided by 2, answer is 3. Hopefully this is clear. Now coming on to the topic to be explained before 7.3, simplest form of a fraction. A fraction is said to be in the simplest or the lowest form if its numerator and the denominator have no common factor except 1. You can check it out. The numerator and denominator is not having a single common number or single common factor. 5 and 7 are the prime numbers, so I cannot use a table of 5 or 7. to go for the simplest form. 3 and 2 are the simplest form where I cannot go with the number rather than 1. Hopefully this is clear to you. Moving on to 7.3 exercise.